Today, we're going to explore a really fascinating story. How a city full of bitter rivals, a city just exhausted by years and years of war, somehow became this unified community of allies. It's a pretty stunning transformation, and it all kicks off not with a big battle, but with a quiet conversation in a sunlit garden. So, our story begins in a palm orchard in Medina. It's a seemingly calm afternoon, but it's about to erupt into violence. You can just feel the tension in the air. You've got two of Medina's most powerful chieftains, Usaid ibn Hudair and Sa'd ibn Mu'adh. Now their tribes are locked in this really bloody feud, and on this day they have one goal: to forcibly drive out two teachers who are spreading a new message in their city. Usaid is the first to show up, and he comes in hot, spear in hand. His message is blunt, it's threatening. He's not there to chat, he's there to intimidate. And if that doesn't work, he's ready to expel them by force. I mean, this is a man right on the edge. But the teacher, a man named Mus'ab, meets this raw aggression with this incredible calm. He doesn't argue, he doesn't threaten back. Instead, he just invites Usaid to listen. And after hearing what he has to say, something just remarkable happens. The people who saw Usaid just a few moments later they were stunned. They remembered his entire demeanor just shifting from this harshness to, and these are their words, brightness and easygoingness. All that anger just seemed to melt away, replaced by this visible peace. So you have to wonder, what could possibly have been said to diffuse a situation that hostile? How do mere words change a powerful chieftain's heart so completely, so fast? You see, his approach was kind of revolutionary. It wasn't about winning some debate or overpowering an opponent. It was based on this simple but really profound principle. Just present your case with clarity and calm justification, and then trust the person to decide for themselves. This simple question, it completely changed the dynamic. Think about it. It wasn't a challenge. It was an offer. By giving Usaid control and respecting his dignity, it turned this hostile confrontation into a voluntary exchange of ideas. He basically disarmed a spear with a single sentence. And what's really incredible is when the second chieftain, Sa'd, arrives, just as furious, Mus'ab makes the exact same offer. And the result? Exactly the same. By nightfall, their entire tribe had embraced this new faith, not because they were forced to, but because they were simply invited to listen. Now, this kind of rapid, peaceful acceptance created this perfect environment for some of the most poignant and unusual stories of faith you'll ever hear. I mean, take the story of a man called Al-Usram. For years, he had resisted this new faith, even as all his friends and his family were embracing it all around him. Then, on the day of a huge battle, something finally clicked for him. He declared his faith right there on the spot, charged into the fight, and was martyred that very same day. He became known as the man who entered paradise without ever having performed a single formal prayer. Just, wow. So this brings up a really important question. Why? Why was Medina so uniquely receptive to this message, especially when other cities were so hostile? Well, the answer seems to be that the ground had already been prepared. You see, for generations, Medina's two main tribes, the Aus and the Khazraj, were just trapped in this devastating cycle of warfare they called the Day of Biath. This conflict had killed off most of their senior leaders, leaving a younger generation that was divided, completely exhausted, and just desperately searching for a way to find some unity. And here's the other critical piece of the puzzle. Unlike a lot of other Arabian tribes, the people of Medina lived right alongside established Jewish communities, so they were already familiar with ideas like monotheism, revealed scripture, and prophets. They had even heard their neighbors talking about a new prophet who was expected to appear soon. This verse really points to that exact context. For the people of Medina, this new message wasn't some strange foreign idea. It felt like the fulfillment of something they'd been hearing about for years. So you have this unique combination of being tired of war and being familiar with the theology, and it prepared their hearts to listen. Okay, so this widespread acceptance didn't just end personal fights. It actually forged a completely new identity for the whole city, which led to this final and maybe most profound transformation of all. So, accepting this message did more than just convert individuals. It fundamentally healed the city's deepest wounds. The former bitter enemies, the Ausis and the Khazraj, were brought together under one powerful new title, the Ansar, which means the helpers. And this was a complete societal shift. They weren't Aus and Khazraj anymore, defined by old grudges and bloodshed. They were now the Ansar, a new people defined by a shared faith and this collective mission to help the people who would later emigrate to their city. Their transformation was so total that it was actually immortalized in Scripture. This verse praises them for this really radical kind of generosity, a complete lack of jealousy and a willingness to put the needs of refugees and newcomers before their own, even when they had very little themselves. It's just a powerful historic reminder, isn't it? In a city that was primed for change, a city torn apart by war, a simple, respectful invitation to just sit down and listen, well, it proved to be way more effective than any call to arms.